Hello everyone, and welcome back to me. Right, I literally just in the last sort of 10 minutes got back home from the Liverpool Open, where I was playing this time rather than commentating. Had a really good time. I did actually drop after round 6 because I went, the camera went funny then, it keeps doing that. I went 3-3, so I started off with a win, then went with a loss, then with 2 wins and 2 losses, and I was like, you know what, I was quite tired, quite hungry, wasn't particularly enjoying. I bricked a lot, I noticed. Well, not all the time. I had a couple of really good hands. And then sometimes I was just like, wow, this hand isn't playable, which is really frustrating. So it got to a point in the day where I was like, I'm actually just going to go early because I'm getting tired. I woke up early to get there, obviously. I wish I could have stayed, honestly. I wish I'd have stayed. But given the fact that this Open was the biggest ever in the UK, to my knowledge, so well done to everyone who organised it. Fantastic, great show, by the way. Well done, well done. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. Although it was the biggest one ever, that did mean that it lasted 10 rounds, which is really cool. But considering that I had to get home that day, it was a bit like, well, I've got to get home today, I should say. Like, yeah, it's a bit, So, as I say, just got home, absolutely exhausted. I thought I'd get this done. I don't really have any like insights onto the games I played. Because honestly, it wasn't a great Yu-Gi-Oh day for me, unfortunately. The games where I won, I tended to just win on a blowout, and the game where I lost, I tended to lose on a blowout. There's a couple of really good back and forth games I had, but they don't stick in my head enough to really be like, go over them. Just one of those days, just wasn't a great day for it, and that happens, you know. But I will go over the deck. This is, I say, Fiendsmith, Dracotail, Fiendsmith, whatever. I found that the decks can bridge both ways, which I will demonstrate in a bit. But yeah, I'll go over the deck profile. So for the Dracotail cards, we have 3 Firmina, because of course we do. We have 3 Lucius, because of course we do. 1 Malulu, 1 Pan, 1 Urgula, and 1 Frixel. This is like, I'm playing the minimum amount that you can play with this, because I'm not playing stuff like Cartesia, I'm no longer playing stuff like King of the Swamp, obviously. So seeing the names in hand is not particularly helpful, but I do still want to play like the minimum number of all of the names, if that makes sense. So this is what I consider to be the bare minimum that you can play. I know some people side out Frixel, some people side out, whatever it might be, going second, going first, whatever the case is. But yeah, I like to just keep the names in because I think they're useful to have, useful to draw. And because that the Fiendsmith cards can bridge into Dracotail, every single Fiendsmith card, provided you open it with a spare monster in hand that you confuse with, is full Dracotail combo. So the theory behind this deck is that there are 15 cards in this deck that, when paired with just almost any monster, give you full Dracotail combo. And then also, sometimes, you're playing full Dracotail with a Caesar on the field. That's the theory behind this. And also, again, sometimes you just start Fiendsmith and then your opponent, you eat a couple of interactions and then you go, okay, cool, Rahu. And your opponent goes, whoa! The most fun I had today was that, where I would do like, okay, we'll do Tract, we'll do this, we'll do that, gonna Ash that, okay, then I'll do Tract and Graveyard effect, gonna do, okay, and then I just go, okay, cool, Rahu. And they went, whoa, Rahu, I more than once today I heard the phrase, Rahu jump scare, which, I mean, yeah, because you ashed something already, so I'm good. That's kind of the theory behind this. So then we got, back to the Fiendsmith, got 3 Engraver, we've got 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurry, because this is like, I'm playing sort of max, again, sort of max names, and you're seeing spells, sort of max out on the bare minimum, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't, but it does in my head. I'm tired, leave me alone. And then 1 Crowley, because that's part of the bridge. This is part of what bridges them together as a strategy. Then we have the hand interactions. We have 3 Ash Blossom. I'm playing 2 Ghost Bell, 2 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Droll. This all might seem weird. I kind of always play 2 Ghost Spell, because Ghost Spell's nice in the mirror match and nice into stuff like Mitsurugi. I find it to be, like, against some matchups, it doesn't do enough in my eyes. So I've always liked playing Ghost Spell at 2. Droll is at 2 currently, and I kind of feel like it's worth playing in the main, because at, sort of worst comes to worst, it's a spellcaster to fuse with. In your best case scenario, it's a turn end if your opponent, and in the middle somewhere there, if you get Charmed, sometimes you have a hand that can play through it, so you wait for 1 draw, droll, carry on, So it all kind of, kind of works out there in that sense. So that's the thought process there. And the Ghost Ogre thought process, I'll say, I have been playing Veiler, and then I had to go at Veiler and Ghost Mourner. I even put in Imperm for a bit. Those cards seem to do okay if you draw like 2 or 3 of them and really use them at the best opportunities, you know? They seem to do alright sometimes. If you don't open all of them, they kind of don't feel very strong in my eyes at the very least. At the moment, they're dodgeable, you play through them, it kind of doesn't matter. Ghost Ogre, I've noticed, I will say, didn't draw it once today, I think. I don't think I saw it once. I think I saw it once against a Yummy Fiendsmith player. Very friendly guy, by the way. I saw it once against a Yummy Fiendsmith player, and he managed to play through it still. But the reason I put this in the deck at 2 is because, for one, it's another one that I always play at 2 rather than 3 because it just feels good at 2. But also, at the so last week I went to an OTS at my locals, and there were multiple games. I was maining it? I'm not sure. I had a Veiler at some point, and there were multiple games where I was like, Veiler is not helping me here. Ghost Ogre would have won me the game. It's just really helpful at the moment, I feel like. It's one of the few things I've noticed as well that's actually, I think, right, maybe I'm insane here, actually a turn ender sometimes against branded Dracotail. If you use this on the Synchro Ecclesia, they sometimes can't play through that, because that whole Synchro Ecclesia line, unless you have a hand full of hand interactions, you don't tend to use anything on that, because it's all just gonna, okay, all you're getting to is it's basically, it gets you a Cartesia without having to spend a normal summon. That's the whole idea behind it, you know? Sets you up some graveyard stuff, don't get me wrong. It does other stuff, but it's a way to fuse quick effect style without using a normal summon, which is why it's good. So even if you imperm something there, you can get through it to your next turn. It's really good. But if you Ghost Ogre the Synchro Ecclesia, they can't get to that sometimes, because a lot of them only played at 1. So it makes a lot of sense to me. It feels good. I like it. I like to use it on like Ripper. I like to use it on stuff like Lupus and whatnot. It's great into Ripper because they get 1 negate off, and then they either have to use this to negate its destruction, or it gets destroyed and it's gone. So either way, this deals with Ripper. You lose one thing, but it deals with Ripper straight away. So yeah, I like Ghost Ogre a lot at the moment. Again, there are a few games where I'm like, that actually could have won me the... didn't see it at all, but there you go. So like I saw it once, but there you go. It does come up. 3 for because of course. And some I included last minute, and I don't think I used it once today, I think. Magnum Up, it's only at 1 obviously, so I only saw it once. Yeah, Magnum Up feels good. Whenever I use it, it just feels very good. It is like a DT Crow that searches Yumalulu. Just good. I just like it. It's a solid card. I side it out against some matchups, obviously. It's not going to be useful. But yeah, Magnum Up, and that's that on that. On to the spells. We will move on to the spells. Spells, it's sort of minimum, but as much as you can fit in, if that makes sense. 1 key 2, of course, kind of have to, it's so good. I'm sad that it's gone. Sad that it's at 1. 3 Rahu, again, I think you have to max out on the names. I know some people played 2 of these and 2 traps. That to me is insane, because you just lose your grind game immediately. You're just done. I find that mental. 3 Tracts, because again, this plus any monster is full Dracotail combo, or at least as full as you can go with. When I say full Dracotail combo, I mean the like, oh, normal summon Lucius plus a Fawalos in hand, you know? And that gets you like the 2 fusions and 2 traps of 5 mana in hand. That, in my mind, is your standard 4 combo, and then of course if you pair it with another name or whatnot, or another spell, or, you know, more engine in hand, it gets you the 3rd trap and something else in hand, obviously. But your standard combo, I'll say. And then 1 call by, because this is a much more sort of combo-y variant of the deck, and it feels good to have a call by, just in case. Loses a lot more to Fawalos, so yeah. And the traps, I mean, I think this should be fairly obvious. It's just 1, 2, 3. Horn, Flame, Sting. I had considered using Fiendsmith in Paradise for a bit. The issue with that is that it's another trap brick that just sucks to draw, which this deck already struggles with. And also, I actually don't use Desiree because I could not find room for it. I wanted to find room for it, I simply could not find room for Desiree, unfortunately. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't find it. I had room for a while before I realised that you could bridge from Dracotail into Fiendsmith, and then I was like, okay, well I need the bridge then, so because it's more useful. Extra deck, 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, pretty standard stuff. 1 Artemis, part of the bridge. I'll go over the bridge in a bit. The bridge is, I'll say it's not good, but it does work, you know? If you get like just an open field to play with, it does work. So we've got an Optimus, one Akashic Magician. Now, if you're doing, this is for the bridge, you can just use Lane of the Light Charm or Lustrous. However, Akashic Magician has a field breaking effect, which is non-target bounces what it's pointing to, which is pretty good. It doesn't come up very much, but it's just, in my mind, it's just that like 1% better than Liner, you know? Liner can search you Frixel, which I guess potentially is good in a grind game. This is kind of always good if you're going second and need to get rid of like a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon or so, you know, bait out some interactions, do this. It's got, you know, this actually has more uses, I feel at least. One Exodon Knight, because again, you got a bridge. One DDD Wave Hiking Caesar. I love this in this deck because with the Fiendsmith stuff, especially, the kind of strength of the Fiendsmith stuff is its grind game. So generally speaking, you want to get this out kind of maybe first turn, what have you. But after that, you go into like a Deseret instead, right? Like I said, I don't have Deseret in this. I can just summon this again because there are multiple ways I can put this back in the extra deck, like with Horn and with Arthalion. So on more than one occasion, at least during testing, I think only once today, I put this back in my extra deck and then summoned it again. I was like, well, I mean, so I'd summon it, use its, you know, negates, I'd put it back, and the following term, like, okay, cool, Wind Engraver, send that, Caesar, and then carry on with my Dracotail stuff, because I'm not locked anywhere. So yeah, it feels very nice in this deck. One Zoroa, again part of the bridge. I guess you can use the Floodgate effect if you want to. It doesn't come up that much. One Lacrima, because it's Fiendsmith. One Chorozo and one Omega. Part of the bridge going from Fiendsmith to Dracotail. Part of the bridge going both ways. Chorozo, I think, might be my new favourite card. It's so versatile. And then for the sort of Dracotail fusion cards that you can summon and do stuff with, one Secretarian Dragon, one Shawless. This card's great, I love this card. One Gulamel, and two Arthalion. It does feel wrong cutting an Arthalion. Cutting a Gulamel's fine, because you have the Shawless now, so it kind of, you know. But yeah, cutting an Arthalion feels wrong, but I mean, you don't need the other one anymore. Like, the games aren't as grindy now, so yeah, I don't know. We'll go for the side deck now as well. The side deck, I think needs some work. I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm going to keep playing this deck all that much longer, because at the moment, the next big event we have coming up is Nats, and I am sort of like, it's a while off. I don't have anything at the moment to, like, practice for, train for, and like compete for, you know? So it's just local. So I'm probably going to stop playing this for a bit because I just want to play some fun decks. I want to play Magistas, for example, just Magistas Fiendsmith, that's kind of a fun deck. I want to play some fun decks, you know, maybe go back to Goblin Bikers for a bit, take some fun stuff to locals for a while, you know? So I'm going to put this deck down for a bit because this is my, like, try to do well, my try-hardy deck. So yeah, I think the side deck needs a bit of work. I just don't know what to change out, but yeah. 3 Gamma Seal is the Lunar Light out, because you need to get Liger out, you know, it works a treat. A lot of people are like, why are you playing Gamma Seal? Why are you playing this? Why are you playing that? Why are you doing this? Just play Lancia, or why just play Lava Golem? Gamma Seal, I think, is better. So someone did tell me I should play Artifact Lancia instead, because that means, oh, well, even if that, like, if you play Lancer against Lunar Light, then they can only, if they have a great hand, get out one Liger Dancer, and that's only if they have, you know. And I'm like, okay, cool. If they get out one Liger Dancer, I lose. So no. And then it's like, oh yeah, but you play Gamma Seal, you have to draw it. And yes, you have to draw Lancia as well. I was like, what are you? Listen, I respect your opinion. This is what I'm going with. And then someone else said Lava Golem. I'm like, that's fine. What if they don't have 2 things on the field? And they went, okay, well, what if I had 2 Liger Dancer? I went, okay, I can Arthalion bounce it back and use it again. So I think that with this deck specifically, I'll say, I don't know about all decks, but with a deck that I can just bounce things back really easy, a Kaiju works better, but that's just me. 3 Meows. Meows is good into a lot of stuff at the moment. A lot of people cutting Meows. I think it's still really solid. I've tried leaving it out, and then I'm suddenly I'm playing against 3 Malice in a row, or, you know, I'm going against Yummy, and it's like, oh, that would be really nice here. Or against, this is really good into Moonlight as well. This is amazing into Moonlight. They summon so much from the graveyard. So yeah, I love Meows. It's great. 3 Perulia, because again, I just want to play all of them. 3 Nibiru. I did take 2 of these out of the main. Actually, to recently, I was speaking to someone the other day, And it's so good going first in this deck. But going second, like, I've noticed the decks that are going to have an issue with it have ways of playing around it, which, unless you have a bunch of other hand interactions, this isn't going to do anything. Like, a lot of things will set up protection by summon 5, or play under it, you know? So this doesn't do enough go. Like, this is really good going first, because most decks, even this deck, have to play into Nibiru in order to break your field and go for game. So Nibiru is amazing in this deck going first. Going second, it's very lackluster, I find. It's not always. Sometimes it can work, but yeah. I don't know. I might try and find room for it again. And 3 Droplet. Droplet's amazing, obviously. Again, I didn't like it in the main. If I'm playing a different version of the deck that doesn't need 3 tracks in it, then I would probably find a way to main it. But I just don't want too many spells because it makes your hands redundant. So yeah, that's the deck profile. I'm going to quickly put these back in the right order because it'll bug me if I don't. And then I'm going to show you guys how you bridge back and forth. Again, this is kind of a quick one. I apologize, but I'm rather EP. I'm rather sleepy, unfortunately. So I'm just going to quickly bush, whatever. I'll show you how you get from. Let me have a quick look. I'll put the hand together. So I'll say this: if you're trying to go for Dracotail into Fiendsmith, you need quite a heavy Dracotail engine hand. You need access to, you don't need these cards specifically, but you need access to these cards, right? You need access to a Fimina, access to a Dragon, and access to either a Lucius or a level 4 spellcaster like Crowley could work, right? If you then have a Phrixel in hand, or a Kitu, you know, you need access to the right stuff. But with a sort of heavier engine hand, you can make it work. So you would go Effect of the Fimina, fusing these two together into a Secretarion Dragon. You do your effects of Lucius and Pan, setting the Rahu and the Kitu. I will say I did see this this is the combo that is used a lot to bridge your. I'll keep these face up. This is the combo that's used a lot to bridge your Dracotail stuff into your like branded Magista stuff. But I noticed it just has 2 level 4s on the field when it's just like, okay, that's Exodon, cool. So then you use Secretarion, put this back, summon Lucius. Lucius effect to search for the Phrixel, if we can find that. Speedy. Summon Phrixel. Phrixel effect, summon Fimina, add Fimina back to your hand. At this point, you want to contact fuse into Chorozo. This, again, is my favourite card at the moment. And then you want to overlay these two for your Exodon Knight. I'm sure you can figure that out from here, right? Because you have the Fimina in hand without its fusion effect in graveyard, without the when used material effect in graveyard, right? So that's been used. You got Kitu, you got Rahu set, and you just have full Fiendsmith combo from there. So that's the bridge going that way. You need a heavy engine hand, but it does do the trick, you know? And then going the other way, I will demonstrate in just a moment after I put these back in the right spot. I'm going to be putting them away from the right spot in just a second when I get them out, but I still want to put them back properly. It will make my brain happy. So, yeah. To go the other way, I will just use... you know what? I'll demonstrate it with Lurie, right? I'll demonstrate it with Lurie and a Charmy. Say this is your hand. Let's say something awful has happened. Let's say your opponent has done a Mermail combo. This is all you're left with in the hand at the start of your turn, and your opponent has no interactions. You can probably get game from here. So you'd normal summon Lurie. Again, this works with any Fiendsmith starter. It's just I'm demonstrating with Lurie. Link into Requiem. Requiem into Lacrima. Lacrima send an Engraver. Engraver shuffle back the Lurie for cost to summon itself. You link these two off. Can't pick up the card now. There we go. Into sequence effects, using the Engraver and the Requiem as material. Important to leave Lacrima in the graveyard for this. To summon your big Lacrima. Big Lacrima, summon little Lacrima. Link these two off. into Acacia Magician, or Line of the Light Charmer. Again, either one works. It's just a generic link to Spellcaster that's easy to summon, right? That's the whole idea behind it. You then use Sequence to equip itself to Lacrima. Then Contact Fuse again, because you don't need them to be in the monster zones for this, into your Chorozo. You Synchro Summon here into Zoroa. Zoroa equips itself with Artemis. Artemis uses the effect to, so I'm sure a lot of you can see where this is going. Can fuse into the Crowley. Crowley effect to summon itself. Crowley effect to fuse these guys. Well, I say these guys. Artemis is a casualty there, unfortunately. But those into the Invoked Magistus Omega. Also a very cool card. I want to bring up quickly here before we carry on any further. So if anyone doesn't know what Invoked Magistus Omega's effect is, when it's summoned, it has a really cool effect where it can banish a extra deck card from the graveyard, and then also one monster on the field. So that's to target both. But yeah, so it's actually really cool. However, the other effect is that why you use it here, why the bridge, Zoroa's effect in graveyard is you can target one of your Magistus cards in the field, destroy it, and then summon the Zoroa. When this is destroyed, I think by battle card effect, I'm not sure. When is it destroyed? Yeah, battle card effect. You can summon a level 4 spellcaster from deck. Now here, you obviously just summon Lucius, right? You summon Lucius. Lucius searches Phimina. There you go. There's your full Dracotail combo with the monster and hand to fuse with. You use this, you go into Aphelion, you get the idea, right? But what I think is really cool about that is that also bridges perfectly into Man with the Mark, because that's also a level 4 spellcaster. So the funnily named deck Mark Smith, which is Man with the Mark and Fiendsmith, which used to be good because you could just summon, I believe it was Exodon Eye quite easily. No, sorry. Moon in the Closed Heaven. Sorry, that's the word. Now you can do the other way, where actually all your Fiendsmith cards get you your full Man with the Mark combo stuff going on. So it feels quite cool. Yeah, because so it makes any Fiendsmith combo into, or rather, any Fiendsmith card, I should say, sorry, use my words properly, can turn into any, I'm trying to think of what it all is now, any level 5 synchro, any level 8 synchro, any level 10 synchro, any level 4 spellcaster with that little combo, or any rank 4. This excites me a lot because I need to look through all the things I can do with that. Like, it bridges into what's it called? Rescue Ace, because you can summon the Battling Boxer rank 4, which can then of course search for any Fire Warrior monster. That also gets you into Inferno Noble Knight. It gets you so much cool stuff. It also, obviously, because it makes a rank 4, it means that Fiendsmith Ryziel, which if anyone doesn't remember, about, a little over a year ago, was a terror on the metagame, Fiendsmith Ryziel, is now, I would say, very much back, because the reason that deck was so good is because you had so many Ryziel cards, which all of them by themselves was like very much full combo, and then you could bridge into your Fiendsmith stuff with some Exodus or what have you, and go from there. As long as you weren't locked by that point, obviously, right? But the thing is, it now bridges both ways, and it means that I made the deck, I tried to do my little, put it all together. If you play Max Ryziel Starters Engine, and then Max Fiendsmith Starters Engine, you can play a deck which is a tight 40 cards of 20 non-engine, 17 one-card starters, and 3 engine non-starters. And it's Fiendsmith Ryziel, which to me is kind of nuts, because that deck, again, was a terror about a year ago, and no one's really playing it at the moment. I guess it obviously plays very heavy into like Fura and whatnot, so I get it, but I don't know, the fact that I've just seen no one playing it is kind of weird to me. Anyway, that's the video, guys. I appreciate you all watching, and I appreciate any comments or whatnot. I'm going to go to bed now. It's just gone 11. I'm exhausted. Today was overall good. I'm just very tired, and I was like, you know what? I've got my invite already. I'm not topping on an X3 record. I'm going to get myself going. I wanted to have a little chat with people. I said my goodbyes. It was like nice to see people, nice to meet people, and nice to, someone said, hey, someone said to me as I was leaving, like, hey, I love your channel, keep it up. And I don't know who this person was. I didn't learn their name. I'm very sorry because they were gone very quickly. If you're still there, if you know who I am, if you're watching, thank you. You made my day. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. it was a wonderful day overall, but that really made my day. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. Been a pleasure. Long video, sorry. I'll see you in the next one. Probably going to make a Magister's Fiendsmith profile at some point. Anyway, take care, everyone. Much love. Bye.